I got it in me. All these sessions just hit and repeat, and I'm told that the problem is me. And I feel like the problem is me. And I'm feeling I'm dying to see. On my knees, guitar is playing this
Oh, yo, yo, yo. How we going, mate? Just fucking playing some fucking production / demo stage shit, ladies and gentlemen. Don't mind me. Just showing you a bit of my unfinished music in the background there, goofing around with some acoustic explorations, some mid-90s, I don't know, cool chord structures. Anyways, welcome to the MountainsHide stream. How you doing, Bad Conduct? How you doing, Papa Blazin'? My manses. I hope you're doing splendiferously today, boys. I'll tell you what, I haven't made my coffee yet. Today's been a long day. And I'm on my second coffee, or almost about to be. Today has been a day of many things. So I fell asleep too early last night, which meant I woke up in the middle of the night, and then I didn't go to sleep until later. So then that put my waking up time out, which meant I had to go out and see my mum immediately this morning. And then I went to see my mum. And then I just ended up hanging out there more because my mum is great. And I was like, you know. And now we're here. And I'm doing stream 5 hours late. So welcome to the MountainsHide stream. I'm also noticing chat isn't quite doing its thing there. Let me take a quick sneaky peeky for you guys. See if we can actually get some fucking movement on the issue. You know what I mean? You get a little bit of clarity on the current issue. And then we got the YouTube connected, but it's still not displaying in the widget. Oh, there we go, boys. Hey, we're in business. All right, well, that's something I'll need to remember. It seems like access goes stale at some point, and you have to like re-put it into the browser extension, into the URL of the browser source. Yeah. Oh well. At least I know. Woo! Wait, welcome to the MountainsHide stream. My name is Zach, music producer, mix engineer, love what I do. Also, a goofy and jovial Australian man. Kinda New Zealand as well, I guess. Kinda. I'm an honorary Australian. That is my label for myself. No one gave it to me. And I'm sure many Aussies would also not want me to have that label. Proud immigrant. Welcome to Australia. Oh, yes. Yes. Welcome in. We are, of course, doing music feedback, music review today. If you wanna fucking be a part of that, well, we got this stinky bugger little right here. Join now, or forever hold your peace. Today may not be a long stream, but it will be a girthy stream. Once more, exclamation submit if you want to get into the queue, exclamation Lineskip if you're feeling frisky. And welcome to the stream.
What the hell are you?
I'm Zachy, and welcome to the MountainsHide stream. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what. Woo! All right, so what I wanted to do before we kick things off today was, of course, run through a little bit of YouTube's. Run through a little bit of YouTube's, mate. Now, this particular YouTube's, you know, you love. It's a particular artist being covered, though, and it's an artist I really love. Who here knows Tom Mish? That guy. Anyways, we're watching a video about that guy and his guitar tones. It's going to be awesome. Let's fucking do it.
You know, originally I started using the Logic Pro 9 acoustic guitar amp, and I used that on Geography and a lot of early records. And these days, you know, especially my live show, I'm leaning into like using a wah pedal, Crybaby wah pedal, and just really getting expression out of that. So this is like... So this would have been overdrive into Mooga Fuga into a Crybaby.
Right.
Well, that's fucking good. Tim nerds.
So what should we look at next? I mean, the guitar phrasing and the sound of it. What have you got going on there?
Yeah, so in terms of acoustics,
Bro.
acoustic.
I did not know he self-produced like this. Let's go.
Two like close mic'd acoustics, and I think this was a Gibson acoustic that just had a real woody sound. So this is also Rantatate, double tracked. And then we've got that electric guitar sound, which a kind of wah thing, which is I think it's my Strat. I've got a John Mayer signature Strat that I'm running into a distortion pedal.
Yeah,
into
Tom
a
Mish
Mooga
is
Fuga,
like
which
goated
is
for tones.
The Moogs kind of.
I've really always loved how much space and like texture all his tones have. Seems really like deliberate. Like he thinks a lot about it and like tweaks it.
Wah thing. Bass, is it bass Mooga? I think it's bass Mooga Fuga.
Right. And that's a pedal, is it?
It's a pedal.
Yeah.
It's a envelope pedal.
So you're playing the electric and do it using the Mooga Fuga.
Well, exactly. You just play into it and it opens up or closes.
Mooga Fuga.
Mooga Fuga.
Such a great name.
It is. With a bit of verb and stuff on the... This is a sound I use quite a lot, actually. But never used it on a record, but I used it... I did a Tiny Desk, like 7 years ago or something, and there was a guitar solo that I did on this track called I Wish, and I used this sound, and then it kind of became a bit of... It was like... I felt like it was like... Not my thing, but something that I did quite a lot, you know? And I was like, I want to get that on the record.
Yeah, interesting. We've got some questions that we're going to scatter throughout the course of our chat from patrons via Patreon. And one of them is Diego Fernandez, who says, can you share your pedal board? Which is quite a big ask, I think.
Yeah. You know what? I actually can't even tell you what I've got because I didn't make the board. So I'm putting my hands in the air. I'm pretty clueless with setting up gear. So I've got my guitar tech did that for me, and I can explain basically what I mean. I've got but I don't know exactly what I've got. So I've got like a clone drive thing that kind of fattens up the sound a bit.
Bro,
I've got
what?
my
What?
Mooga Fuga pedal, which I
What do you mean you're clueless at setting things up, bro? I don't understand.
love. I've got a kind of 3-in-1 pedal that gives you delay, drive, and what are they called? I wish I had a photo of it.
Maybe.
I'd be happy to share a photo of it.
Yeah, cool.
I'm not. There's no secrets.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, send it on through, and we'll share it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because and it's so many musicians. If it works, it works. Don't know what it is. It doesn't matter. It creates what I want.
Yeah.
And obviously, at the same time, it's useful having friends who are very knowledgeable about these things that can put them together, so that you can then use them to make your art.
Exactly. Because my strengths are not in the technical side of things.
Yeah. But you know it when you hear it and you think, oh, I like that.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm technical with what I know what I want and I can hear it, but just in terms of, plugging stuff in, and I'm pretty clueless with patching or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Our partners at Tape It have just...
I don't get it. It's just like series. Like sequence. Like, what do you mean? It's just in one and out the other and into the other, bro. What do you mean, bro? Oh no.
Neighbors, vacuum cleaners, the out sent off.
I think I'll just play the end of this guitar solo because this is the first time on a record I've kind of, I guess, distorted my guitar more. I'm more, previously I've kind of, originally I started using the Logic Pro 9 acoustic guitar amp, and I used that in Geography and a lot of early records. And these days, especially my live show, I'm leaning into like using a wah pedal, Crybaby wah pedal, and just really getting expression out of that. So this is like,
yeah, he's very like hard focused musician. Like no thinking about routing, no thinking about any of that shit. It's just straight like pedal knowledge and using the tools like specific to playing guitar, which is respectable. It's just a little disappointing to hear that he doesn't know how to set up a fucking it's the same as you do with plugins in a row like here, except you just put a cable out from this one in to this one and then out from this one in to this one. This is why people need Pro Tools, because Pro Tools forces you to learn that, and then you can apply that to real life engineering fundamentals. This is why we have Pro Tools, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, it's really whatever works. At this point, he's already got a huge music career. So it's really whatever works at the end of the day. I really love his music too. It's dope. It's dope as fuck.
I think it's one of the first takes I did as well. So I'm not perfecting stuff. I'm just trying to
yeah. Just letting it out.
Just letting it out.
And responding, so you would just kind of pretty much have the rest of the track all done and then just would do that.
Yeah, it would have been.
End,
I did this in Nashville, to be fair. Yeah.
Can we quickly solo the solo?
Oh yeah.
Let it hear it in all its glory. Mish, it all sounds brilliant.
So this would have been overdrive into Mooga Fuga into a Crybaby.
Right.
So it's just pretty messy.
And when you solo, what do you think about? Are you thinking when you're soloing? Is it an intuitive response to the music or to the mood? Or are you conscious about what you're
There's not much thinking, not much thought,
It's all doing.
It's all doing and, responding. And, I think it's extremely present. And you know, it's kind of I think there's melodies going on. You might hear I sometimes hear lines, but I'm not there's no thought, there's no numbers, or I'm not a numbers guy, so that's not I know some people do have that in there, you know,
and could be precise about what they're going to do.
And, I don't know what I'm going to do.
That's great. So you would probably carry on until you were happy with what was coming out, and then think. So that could be a couple of takes, or it could be. Would you really persist? Would you go 10 takes deep trying to find it?
I would, and I do. You know, I think I'll try something. I'll see what comes out. If there might be things that I like that I'll keep, and then I'll do another one, and it's kind of a process of refining it. So I think for this one, I think it was the first take, or I might have done 2 takes.
He's just like a musician. Like, he's just like, you know what? I know my tools. I know my kit. That's what I'm good at. That's why people like me. I can respect that. I want him to be able to put his own fucking boards together. You know? That'd be his own pedal board together. That'd be great. It's just very, very straightforward. I'm sure he could get it working. I'm sure he's just underselling himself. Welcome to the MountainsHide stream. What have we got going on in the fuck? Absolute Magnitude. Let me know if you're here. We can run a bit of music. I'm just gonna continue watching music YouTubes, honestly. If you want to submit your song, by all means, go for it. Oh yeah, exclamation submit. Exclamation Lineskip. Oh shit, we got more behind the less you know, the better. Kevin Parker.
What's funny about this song is I made it in like 15 minutes, 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, someone with my accent.
But it's one of the hardest songs for us to get right live. For whatever reason, on that night, I was like feeling particularly funky, and I just had the right feel. Hey, how's it going? I'm Kevin from Tame Impala. And right now we're going to look at The Less I Know The Better. It was basically just a demo that I recorded one night. I wrote it and I kind of fell in love with it. It was just like 30 seconds of music. This is the demo.
Banger demo.
The story is that I gave it to Mark Ronson, which is true. I just assumed that it wasn't Tame Impala because it was just different to anything that I'd been doing with Tame Impala yet. I was gonna put it on Mark's album. Mark was eventually like, dude, I think this is your song. He's like, I feel like I'm stealing your song. My wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, was also begging me to make it a Tame song. Everything that you can hear musically is basically a Roland guitar synth. Because I was in such a hurry to record it, I was like, oh my God, quick, like get this down before you forget it. Back then I was always just sort of like looking for new guitar pedals and sounds and stuff. And I loved how you could just get a million different sounds. Because I wasn't really much of a piano player back then. And it had sort of like strings, horns, all sorts of stuff. And so it was like just so great for making demos because you could just throw in different sounds.
That's awesome.
This is a bit more of a classic guitar synth sound. Okay, so the drums I think I recorded them outside. The album before Currents Lonerism was like super washed out, recorded it in a room with zero acoustic treatment. It was all just blasted natural room reverbs and stuff. And so a pendulum of me swinging the other way was like, I wanted everything to be sort of like tight and controlled, which is what that is. Mark Ronson always used to say that like I had a good way of hitting the snare. I think Uptown Funk has a sample of me hitting a snare when I was in the studio with him. I don't know, I've just got a good like... I'm quite fussy with the hi-hats too. Like nothing's less groovy than a hi-hat that's happening just too early. You know, it's got to be just sitting in the, just after the grid, you know? That's where the funk is. That's where the groove is. The Korg Kronos is this keyboard I've used since Currents on like every album. It's kind of like, it's like a Swiss Army knife. And it never gets talked about because it's like the least cool synth. I bought it because I was getting into sort of like Pharrell Williams and like Justin Timberlake. I wanted one of those like big sounding synths with like big sounding synth sounds. I also had this thing called one of those like old Roland synth module, JV 1080 or something. It was tiny. It was like making music in Perth, like especially back then. It's like you just get what you can get, you know? Especially for me, I didn't have a lot of money. It was just so hard to get gear. It's easier nowadays. It's way easier nowadays. When I hear this song, I'm in like a bar or whatever these days, I do regret mixing the vocals so low. I think for like a pop song, the vocals are quite washed out. They're quite sort of like classic Tame Impala-y. I think I loved how sort of Phil Collins-y it sounded. Had that 80s reverb kind of sound, which was what I was big into around doing Currents.
She was holding hands with Trevor, not the greatest feeling ever.
What I just realized about this song, pulling it up, is that there's not a single harmony. There would be the vocal double that I've mixed down there. But basically, like that I mean, that is the Tame Impala vocal.
Dude, that's such a good takeaway from some big songs. You don't always need to have harmonies. I'm actually dealing with that in a song right now where like every song I have ever done has had harmonies, but this song, I've like tried to jam him in every which way. Can't get any to fit or improve the sound. And I've got like a bunch of harmony layers just sitting there. And I'm like, no, this song doesn't need harmonies. So there's always an exception to a generally true rule in music. Always. Yo, what up, Bad Conduct? We're just watching some making of with Tame Impala.
The sound, you know, in the same way like Beach Boys did it, Beatles did it, Fleetwood Mac, you know, whoever. I've got a good sense of rhythm, not so much a good sense of pitch, which is kind of why I think that I've ended up being a voice doubler, because like you hear stories about Stevie Wonder and like they couldn't double his voice because the pitch was exactly the same. It didn't even sound like a double. It just sounded like louder, which is mind-boggling. But so like I'm not bang on with pitch, but I know the rhythm of, you know, how to sing it and stuff. So I think that works for me.
Oh, nice.
The last little part of the song is like my favorite part. Like to me, that's kind of the most kind of like beautiful part of the song. Going nuts on like all these little sort of like emotional sort of. I was like, you know, I was high on it. You know what I mean? The rest of the song is just me sort of layering different synths. Very, very little Ableton automatey kind of production this song. It's dead simple, which is like something that I really respect. This is the fucking cheesiest thing I'll ever say, and I'm sorry. But like at this point in making the song, like I knew I'd done it. You know, I was like, I've done it. You know? And I don't mean like I've done it, but it's like I've given the demo the rest of the song that it deserved, you know? And it was sort of like I justified to myself why it took me so long. I kind of hate that that's the moral of the story, but this song is sort of a lesson in like waiting, which, you know, whatever. Take it for what it is. But
A lesson in waiting. Hey, not what I needed to hear right now, okay? But whatever, you take that. You take that how you will, chat. I thought I would try to multitask. Shit, yeah. Amazing. Alright. I think it's about time. I'll run a bit of a tune. I got a cheeky tune. I got 2 tunes here today. One that was submitted in mass earliness. So early, I didn't even understand what was going on. I didn't even know what was going on. Anyways. Alright. Let's run this up. Bam. Bam. Huh.
Give me psychedelics, ain't me drip on the medics. Deliver to the medics, what's this bitch fucking taking? Shaking, earthquake in the fucking making. Gray matter, don't matter, turn the fucking purple cause the brain cells getting fatter. Not feeding them the good stuff because you got the hood stuff. Ciphered out the boot of your car, don't laugh, I'm parched. Alice running wild in this wonderland, catch me in the slumberland. Sleepers for the weak, and just for the nasties and the freaks, misfits and the cheats. On the big cruising on the street, trick or treat, Freddy in your dreams. He wants a cup of tea. Al Grey for this motherfucker, gotta keep him sweet. Control is just an aspect of the mind, and if I'm mindful of the aspect, then I should be just fine.
Like wake up, roll up, blaze up, turn the next phase up. So high, smoke clears, where the fuck am I? Like wake up, roll up, blaze up, turn the next phase up. So high. Fibonacci sequence woven in color.
Fibonacci sequence, let's go.
Aliens just went to get the probe. If they got psychedelics, well, I guess I'll go. On the cosmic journey of discovery, the dopamine enhancing the...
Okay, this second verse, or whatever you want to call this, from here on, I'm feeling it. Something about, I don't know if it was the mix on yours, but I don't know. I think it might have been just the balance or the mix on that part. But also, the Faye in the first part, I like the weirdness, but the thing that comes with like a really interesting production, a really like left of field like writing and stuff, is you have to have like an advanced mix to sort of match the level of creativity that's going on. So I feel like the mix with the Faye's performance with the vocals can be ironed out a bit more. But your vocals, she mixed this one. Gotcha. Well, yeah, if you think it's appropriate, you're welcome to pass on the feedback. I do like their level of creativity, though. Like the doubles and stuff are interesting. They use different weird voices and stuff. That's cool. And their flows are pretty good, too. I think, again, with that high level of creativity comes a high level of responsibility to nail the mix, to express the idea very like deliberately. Yeah, I am stopping it halfway through, so I'm gonna run it back a little bit here.
Legit, the aliens just went to get the probe. If they got psychedelics, well, I guess I'll go. On the cosmic journey of discovery, the dopamine enhancing the DMT. I'm floating on 2CB, to be me or not to be me, questioning everything escaping. As the landscape changes, all the faces the same stranger. Got the sweet between the papers, I can see music in the vapors. Why you so jaded? I appreciate a hater. Psilocybin, LSD, mescaline, the greatest way to see nature.
Give me psychedelics, give me psychedelics. The night should be just fine.
Be or not to be me, yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of creative bars in there. Yeah, I think it's just like mixed stuff. I think the vocal production is probably fine on these, and it's just a balance that's more favorable. I think even on yours, although the critique isn't as severe, but specifically on the phase vocals, I just think there's a better place for like most of those vocals to be sculpted in there. Yeah, there's like a crowdedness in the middle. It's basically like slight subjective EQing is what I would recommend. There's some stuff going on in the middle EQ space. I think there's also some stuff going on in like the 3.5 kilohertz space. I think also in the highs, like beyond 10K, needs to be like high shelved, reductively, subtractively, and then like possibly even a low cut to get some of the like anything under like 100, 150, 200 hertz as well would be things that I would immediately do to this vocal, or at least experiment with. Yeah, I hope that specificity at least helps to some degree. It annoys me when I go to get feedback and then they don't actually give me anything to action. You know what I mean? They're like, I don't like it. It's not a good vibe. And you're like, aren't you a mix engineer, dog? You know what I mean? Like, thank you for the submission, man. I appreciate it, dude. Oh yeah. Welcome to the MountainsHide stream. If you want to submit your track, you can. Submit, exclamation line, skip. Get it in there. We having a chill day today. We're watching a bit of Sound Engineer YouTube. Sort of just doing an investigatory role on YouTube. This is the Gen Alpha Melody.
Don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you need me like I need you now?
Do you ever feel like a misfit? Everything inside you is dark and twisted.
Each day goes by and each night I cry. Somebody saw you with her last night. Nobody said that it would last forever. That doesn't mean we didn't try.
Lady Gaga in here.
I think we could do it if we tried. For me to say you're mine.
Easy to say, easy to do, but it's not easy. Well, maybe for you.
I hope it's romantic all my life, surrounded by couples all the time. Wish we never met, 'cause you're too hard to forget.
So okay, so what's going on here? Are they all copying the same melody? It might just be a coincidence.
La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, da. I've always been told one day I'll find somebody who changes my mind.
All right, I get the point, but you know, it's only pop music. It's not even like real music.
You put a lion on a leash. What if I said I'm trying to save your love from dying? Baby, I'm too far gone.
Okay,
There's a lot of examples.
But you know, they're all in English. All those songs, they're all in English.
I'm pissed I haven't heard that song.
okay, that's weird, but you know, it's only.
And they floated in on the jasmine wind. And
Oh, that's a bit of a stretch.
I've named this melody the Gen Alpha melody, referring to the time period most of these songs were released. But why is this interesting? The world of music is built upon inspiration and melodic and harmonic norms, so being inspired is inevitable. This is seen throughout history in chord progressions such as the 1/4/5s of blues or the 2/5/1s of jazz, or the axis of awesome progression in pop music. It's also seen in different production techniques such as the use of sampling, jazz and soul and hip-hop, or the heavy use of chorus in the 80s. This is why we call things cliches, because our ideas inspire each other. But the Gen Alpha melody is different, and that's because it's a fully fledged melody being copied. This means it's a very specific melody, and a melody that could have easily been a victim of copyright. What makes this so interesting is that I've never seen a specific melody come even close to being as used in popular music. The only ones I can think of are melody writing techniques such as one-note melodies like the supertonic melody, which Andrew Huang made a video on, or like the triplet flow of trap music. But the Gen Alpha melody is a bit too specific. A hypothetical comparison would be if the riff or the melody to Seven Nation Army was copied 100 times and no royalties were being paid to the White Stripes. But what makes this melody so specific? Here's how it works. Alright, so the melody is made up of 4 notes split into 2 phrases. It starts on the 4th degree and is then followed by the note a tritone below, which is the 7th. Next up is the second phrase, which begins on the 3rd. And then jumps down a 5th to the 6th degree. If that didn't make sense, I was just naming the different degrees of the major scale as opposed to just the names of the keys, because the melody isn't always in C major, and the notes are therefore not always F, B, E, A. Make sense? Great. Also, not all melodies, including that specific series of tones, are the Gen Alpha melody. For example, last year I tried going viral by jumping on the trend with this composition, but it didn't really work out. What constitutes the Gen Alpha melody is therefore that these 4 notes are the pillars of the melody, which means all other tones revolve around these because they're landing on strong beats or the melodic phrase ends on them. The reason I think this is such a widely copied melody is because it's a prime example of a good melody. And good melody is obviously subjective when talking music, but at least in traditional terms. Melodies in classical music are built up by questions and answers. It might seem a bit weird to call a melody a question, but I never really asked for your opinion, did I? Another way to phrase it is as dissonance and consonance, which is basically what all music is built up on. You can hear the first phrase is setting up to something, but you can't really just end a phrase there. And to that question we get an answer, but it's sort of inconclusive. It's not really, the answer you wanted. So it's followed by another question. And then you finally get the answer you wanted. It feels consonant, or it's a nice feeling ending on this tone. There are obviously some small deviations with the different examples, but all the melodies all share this characteristic framework, those 4 pillars. In conclusion, it's a great sounding melody by itself and has this bittersweet quality, which also makes sense given that heartbreak or melancholia is one of the most common lyrical themes in all of music. Like nearly all of the uses of Gen Alpha melody have lyrics that are about heartbreak or melancholia in some shape or form. All the examples I've shown follow this formula with the 4 pillars, but there are hundreds more examples out there. Here are a few more. finding these examples, I stumbled upon hundreds of examples of songs that sounded alike from different users on YouTube, Reddit, or TikTok. And some come close, but not quite to being the exact melody. And that's because they only contained at least 2 of the aforementioned pillars of the Gen Alpha melody. For example, I've seen Lady Gaga mentioned several times on posts on this subject.
Oh, I thought it was
recognize
that.
this melody.
Yeah, I thought it was it. Yeah,
Difference
it's
here
true.
is that
The last note
pillar
is
ends
wrong.
on the 3rd instead of the 6th, which means it only has 3 pillars instead of 4. Here's some other examples of outliers of the Gen Alpha melody.
Dude, that's funny. I thought.
Does it ever drive you crazy? Just how fast the night changes. Like a white Mercedes, always been riding too fast.
Yeah, the last note is different.
Baby, I like you, love me.
There are a lot of songs that
Most
do
of these
whatever.
definitely have the same vibe and sort of the same structure.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't categorize them as using the Gen
They
Alpha
resolve
melody. It's just
differently.
sort of the same vibe.
Yeah.
There are many examples of this, but here are a few more. Alright, so I want to make it very clear that this is in no way an attempt to bash any of these artists or to claim lack of originality of any of these songs. All of them have these different features that make them original other than the melody, whether that being the harmony, lyrics, groove, or production. But again, this doesn't really seem like a coincidence, so it still begs the question.
Why is everybody getting
Lawsuits in music are
sued?
always a popular topic because
I think,
nobody wants to
I
see
think
anybody take
before he
credit for
answers, I think it's because even the parties understand that it might just be ridiculous. Like, and then maybe the lawyers, even some of the parties have spoken to these lawyers, and the lawyers have realized there's not a strong case. I don't know. Something like that. Let's see.
somebody else's work. And on the flip side, nobody wants to see somebody get wrongly accused of stealing when they aren't. In broad terms, the way it works is that if you make a song with a melody from another song or very similar to another song and get sued, a court decides whether or not you have to give songwriting credit to the original songwriters, which is a cut that varies. The metrics which the verdict is based upon can, for example, be the aforementioned pillars of the Gen Alpha melody. Some popular examples of songs that had to pay the original songwriters for copying include Stay With Me by Sam Smith and I Won't Back Down by John Petty. Creep by Radiohead. And The Air That I Breathe by The Hollies. My Sweet Lord by George Harrison. He's So Fine by The Chiffons. But even though Radiohead, Sam Smith, and George Harrison had to give songwriting credits to the original songwriters, I don't think those examples come anywhere near to being as similar as the hundreds of uses of the Gen Alpha melody. And that's because the Gen Alpha melody is a case of what's called interpolation. And interpolation involves taking part of an existing musical work as opposed to a sound recording and incorporating it into a new work. This means it's not sampling, but rather a copy of the melody. Some artists do this consciously, like Ride Round by Flowrider, being an interpolation of You Spin Me Round by Dead or Alive. Or Seven Rings by Ariana Grande, being an interpolation of my favorite things from Sound of Music. This is what a lot of EDM artists do, because they know the popularity and recognition of the melody will make it easily digestible, which is great solely from a financial standpoint, because it'll get more streams, and the cut you have to give to the songwriters is made up for by the recognition, and therefore more streams than if it had another melody. Some also do this subconsciously, meaning they probably weren't aware that they were stealing. Artists like Ed Sheeran and Oasis have been accused of this several times. Either way, they have to pay a huge cut to the original songwriters if the songs are not in the public domain. A counter-argument to plagiarism in music is that there are only 7 notes to choose from. But that argument falls short because there are endless possibilities when it comes to even the major scale in a 4-bar phrase. Look up pandiatonicism, for example.
Vomited boogers?
In pop music, what happens is that once you're confined to having it sound easily listenable, it narrows the options down significantly, since common chord progressions and pop formulas are the norm. This is why I don't think most of the songwriters of songs with the Gen Alpha melody made a conscious decision to steal or interpolate, but rather just fiddled around with the melody to a very common chord progression and subconsciously heard what sounds good from their past listening experiences. Okay, so everybody's copying everybody and they are basically doing an interpolation of this melody. That's fine. But who made the melody? Who gets the money? Clairo is a name that pops up a lot because Sophia was such a big hit, and most of the examples of the Gen Alpha melody come from 2020 and onwards. She's also a very respected artist, so nobody really sees her as unoriginal. But she didn't write the melody, because I can find several other examples from before 2019 with the exact same melody. All the cases from the 2010s lead back to Lady Gaga, which I mentioned used a variation of the Gen Alpha melody. But this is still not the bottom of this rabbit hole, because through this extensive research, all clues lead back to one person and a song released in 2004, which is the oldest use of this melody I could find.
Let's go. Dude, let's go. But she probably nicked it as well.
Oh, and just on an ending note, there's this obscure Scouse band who used it, but they probably didn't influence anybody.
Oh yeah, they might have. Yeah, they didn't create rock music or anything. Welcome to the MountainsHide stream. We out here. We're gonna listen to a song or two. I see Loomis coming in here. Might run a cheeky bloody Loomis. Final boss. Let's run it. Ah, fuck. Actually. Wait a second. Let me play you after the ad break. God damn it. I hate Twitch. We'll be back in a moment.
Come on down to the MountainsHide Change EP launch. Advert is entirely off brand with how the music sounds. We're going to be giving away a new car, a brand new family home, and a dirty couch. Literally, none of these prizes will be given away. We might even play some Nintendo. Then after that, you can shut the fuck up and listen to my new music. MountainsHide Change Launch Party, November 27th on Twitch.
Here at MountainsHide, we care about your listening experience. We put all our products through rigorous testing to ensure they meet the highest listening standards. As a usual part of our in-depth testing, we set out to find the least qualified demographic and ask them what they thought of our latest products.
He's actually fucking... It's hype. It's brilliant. The beat sounds sick. And your vocals are so good.
You better fucking join and drop that fire mix, my guy.
Oh, there he is.
Mate, where's the third song? Come on, mate.
Honestly, it hyped me off. I can't even speak. It's that good.
We get what we wanted to
Oh Oh yeah, we're on a little bit of limits. Let's freaking do it. Oh. Still needs a bit of mixing and mastering. Yeah. Let's freaking go. Ayo. Ooh, yeah, I'm at like sort of production, late demo production stage with my stuff. I feel you, like, yeah, the idea is there, like, for sure. It's even further along than that, but yeah, mixing and stuff would definitely help glow this up. Illuminate some areas, get it a bit more clearer. I think also just putting the kick in the right sort of spot EQ wise. What up, Taco Party? Yeah, other than that though, the vibes were cool. The vibes were cool. Yeah, you could try a different kick. But yeah, no, the energy was there, dude. Cool production. Cool production. Alright. What else we got going on here? We got cheeky little YouTubes. YouTube Safari. Oh shit. Just EQ a little more. Yep.
Before music, I was a film head. So like editing for me was like perfect. So I was like, I want to be a film editor. But my brain wasn't meshing to it very well. So I was like, I'm going to figure something else out. And that was music. It's easy for people to look at me and assume that maybe the music wouldn't be this well thought out because they have an image of what a producer looks like already and it just doesn't look like me potentially. Do you have a favorite movie?
Ooh. I was supposed to ask you this. You're watching and listening to In Proximity. I'm Paula Mardo, and today I'm talking to Pink Pantheress. Pink is a multi-platinum recording artist, songwriter, and producer. Stateside, featuring Zara Larsson, recently became her first #1 on the Billboard Global 200. The two-time Grammy nominee also received the Brit Award for Producer of the Year, the youngest person and first woman to do so. But before she got her start in the music world, Pink Pantheress was a film student in London, watching Alfred Hitchcock movies and editing films and videos, maybe some K-pop fan edits. But she's been making music and producing songs since high school. In 2021, she started releasing music anonymously on TikTok. Her drum and bass beats, soft melodic vocal, early 2000s references, and savvy use of social media made her music go viral and catapulted her into stardom. Pink Pantheress has had an incredible year already with new music.
I'm freezing outside, I feel my skin tight.
debut, a world tour, and an incredible moment when figure skater Alyssa Liu performed to Stateside.
My skin tight, my coat is inside. I look up at you.
I got to speak to Pink about her work and process, and specifically what a music producer does. A lot of folks who listen to this podcast are filmmakers, and music producing is so different from producing films or podcasts. But she and I both got to nerd out on editing in GarageBand and Pro Tools and Logic. She also shares her love of film, advice for artists starting out today, how and why she got her iconic name, and how she landed on the Black Panther Wakanda Forever soundtrack. Musical mad genius, a true Gen Z artist and multi-hyphenate, her music goes hard, but stays proudly feminine. We have a lot of Pink fans at Prox, and folks have been raving about her as an artist who truly created her own sound on her own terms and isn't afraid of challenging the norms of what a singer and music producer can look like, sound like, and be. Here's Pink Pantheress. Well, welcome to In Proximity, Pink Pantheress.
Thank you.
Very excited to have you here. And I know we're recording this right before you go on tour.
Mm-hmm.
You recently earned your first #1 on the Billboard 200 with Stateside.
Yeah.
Featuring Zara Larsson.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. Yeah. Yeah, it feels really good.
Does it feel kind of abstract when people tell you, or like?
Yeah, definitely. It feels abstract only because, yeah, it's #1, but my body for some reason hasn't processed it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll hear someone say it and I'm like, oh. But I know that in due time I'll be like, damn, that's so crazy how big that song got. Like, so crazy. Like, oh my goodness, like this is insane. It just takes me a little sec to process all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm very happy about the success.
Yeah, it's such a fun song, and it's so catchy.
Thank you.
Actually, when your names come up as a guest idea for this show multiple times, I think our team has been most excited for you to come here. Just so you know.
Wow, thank you.
They're not often that excited by guests. No, I'm kidding. But no, we're excited here, and I want to say, like, it's funny. I know you've talked about sort of, I don't know if struggling is the right word, but like sort of trying to find your place between being niche and mainstream.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself right now?
Honestly, I definitely don't think I'm niche anymore, but I do still think that I sit in music culturally in quite a specific place, which doesn't really penetrate either. Like, it doesn't penetrate the mainstream in full force.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an in-between.
But your song was at the Olympics.
It was at the Olympics.
Alyssa Liu danced to it.
I know.
It was so fun.
Yes.
Did you know she was going to do that?
I knew that she was a really big fan pre-Olympics because somebody told me, and I was like, wow, that's so fabulous. And I was like, this is super fun, but I didn't think that it was going to mean that she would use a song, like, put it that way. And so, yeah, I found out and I was like, this is extreme for me. Like, this is a really, I mean, obviously, I'm sure she's just a fan of the song, but I think it's really nice. She really, in every interview I've seen her in, she always brings up her favorite music, and I'm always listed, and I'm just like, wow, she's mentioned my name like 3 times in interviews. I met her the other day. She's so sweet, and what's so funny, when we met, it wasn't even like oh my god, hey. I think it was literally like I turned to her and I was like, I had this big hat that I was wearing to the party, and I was like, I really want to get rid of this hat. Should I throw it in the bush over there? And she was like, yeah, I think that you could do that. Like, it was such a casual conversation. Like, we'd known each other for ages, but very sweet girl.
I love that. That's so cool. That's so cool. Can we talk a little bit about your name?
Yeah,
I know you've talked about it on other interviews, but for our audience, because we are a film, TV production company, Pink Pantheress has sort of film, TV roots. How did it come about, and why choose it as your artist name?
So basically, when I was making TikTok, I wanted it to just be Pantheress. It was taken. So I was like, well, what can I do? And then I was just thinking of the Pink Panther. Obviously, as your mind would go there. So then I put pink in front of it, and it just happened to be not taken. Don't know how or why, because what a great name it is. And I still, to this day, get people that are like, oh, I feel like she would be bigger if her name wasn't Pink Pantheress, because it's such a ridiculous name. I'm like, you know what? It's so profound as a name. Like, almost, I feel like some of my success is because of the name, because people are just like, what a interesting name. I have to find out more.
I want to say one of the first times I heard your music and truly like started listening to it was when you were in the Wakanda Forever soundtrack. And I literally was like, who's Pink Pantheress? Like, what is that name? So I think it is true. Let's talk about film. Because you have a film background. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. So I before music, I was a film head. So like, you can be both. I am both. But before I discovered music, because
what the hell? Yo, thank you for the 10 up, bro. Appreciate it, man. Have you got some music for us, dude? What are you working on? I'm a smoke to that on the real, Demo. How's your night going, man? I expect... Oh, wait, no, it's morning now, isn't it? Wait. No, it'd be like early morning, though, like 2 a.m. type shit, right? p.m. Okay, I'm 3 hours off. I almost did something. All right. What we got going on here? Been a little too hectic. Finally found some time to get working on an idea. Love to hear it. Yeah, that's something I hear a lot, but I will say people's music is like disproportionately good when they have like it's like, I remember when I was working full time and all I would do was work full time, maybe hang out with my friends like once a weekend or once a fortnight, and then just every night is just like music. And even though I hated the job, what I'm saying is when you push for time, sometimes your music's better. Rollover. 0.5. Progress. Let's go. Okay. What a cool palette of sounds you got here, dude. I love the bass. I love the like higher synth sounds. I love the guitar. Yeah, your drum kit's really cool as well. So my only critique here is www. My only critique here is that it feels a bit static over time and I think it's in the mix. I think the writing and the production is really goated and the mix is still really nice and like level, but it's like it doesn't feel like it gets like super wide and then small or like super filtered out and then really bright, like dull and then bright in the mix. Yeah, it kind of just feels like it doesn't move much in the stereo field or in the like going back between like a more mono sound, more of a stereo. Yeah, that's the 0.9, and yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's all I got for you, man. Would work well in a violent Marvel scene, absolutely. Yeah, I think this is great, man. The sound selection is just so deliberate, and I just wouldn't question it. And the flow of the song, I think, is gonna be like, you know, going from that 0.5 to 0.9 or whatever, like, it's gonna, like, this composition is good and it's gonna bring that to life in such a dynamic way. I'm excited to hear it, man. Let's fucking go. Yeah, the mix already sounds nice and level. It already sounds like everything is, like, got its own space, but I think it's just about, yeah, getting it to move. And yeah, like emphasizing that space at times. Cool shit, man. Cool shit. I'm actually gonna listen to this last bit again. Oh, also cheers.
Offshore gambling.
The absolute G, Dima, coming in with the heat. I'm so excited to hear that fleshed out. I know I sound like a complaining Nancy, but when an idea in a production is already this good, you just get my like animal brain excited to groove when the mix in the master is finished, dude. I'm like, it's gonna be a good one, man. It's gonna be a good one. Well, it's gonna be an amazing one. It's already a good one. If you just tuned in, this is the MountainsHide stream. We listen to music. I'm a mix engineer, producer. I break down things for you. You can get your tunes in. This is a music stream. It's a music stream. We're watching a little bit of Pink Pantheress, getting into the mind of someone who really knows how to write and co-write and co-produce those. I've heard she has a little bit of trouble with drums. From who, you might ask? Her. She admitted it in an interview, and I respect the fuck out of that. It takes a lot of guts to be at this level, get specific on your process, which, by the way, other singer-songwriters don't like to do. They don't like to go, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this. Pink Pantheress out here letting us know, oh, well, I'm good with synths, I'm good with vocals, my drums, they don't hit. So I'm learning, and guess what? It's with that open and honest attitude that you get better. And I guarantee you, from that interview probably a year ago, she's probably now good at drums. You know what I mean? Yeah, do it, Dima. Do it. Because she's also got the access to where she can get, like, you know, someone that's, like, fully goated to come around and give her a free lesson just to hang out, you know? So I hope she's done that for herself, but she's also extremely busy, so who knows if she's had the time to learn that extra drum production. I think, as we saw with the Tom Misch interview, when you pop off, you sort of just keep doing whatever it is you were doing when you popped off, or at least that's the way it goes a lot of the time. Like, not in the sense that you don't change, like, your song direction or whatever. What I mean is you keep doing the same, like, specific angles of whatever the jobs you were doing. Like, so let's say you were a singer and a songwriter, but you were shit at all things production. You would just probably keep being a singer and a songwriter, and then they would get a producer that worked well with you. And you would just probably be more inclined to stay that way because that's what's making you money and bringing you all the good things. So I feel like in some ways, when people like pop off when they're young, you can understand why they feel like muzzled. Because they end up getting stuck in ways that they probably want to go like well outside of. Anyways, let's watch a little bit more.
I like to say I discovered music. I was a big film buff. So basically my dad raised me on like The Good, the Bad and the Ugly and like Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah,
I
it
would
comes
watch
in
these as a
all
kid.
shapes
A lot
and
of Laurel and
sizes.
Hardy and like a lot
Yep,
of these
yep.
older things, older films.
Classic.
So that's, and I got really, I'm a huge Hitchcock fan. So yeah, I decided that I wanted to go into film. I was like, oh, what path in film? Oh. And then I discovered editing, and I used to be when I started to get more into music, I started to make like edits online and stuff. And I discovered that editing was so fun. I was like, this is so fun. You're in control of everything, basically. Like, you can take things out. You can change the meaning of this piece of footage if you want. You can manipulate it. I was just such a big fan. I am a fan of, sounds so crazy, but I love controlling media, if that makes sense. That sounds insane.
No, I hear it though, because this connects to your music producing.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
I love
I'm so glad she caveated that. I love controlling media. Bro is the next Murdoch.
Manipulating source material, whatever it is. So basically editing for me was like perfect. So I was like, I want to be a film editor. So I went to study film in high school, secondary school is what we call it. Secondary school, and then went to uni for film, UAL LCC. And then, yeah, I literally went to one Zoom, it was COVID, so Zoom session. And then I was like, everyone in this class knows more than me. I'm out.
Oh, man. I hear that though. I mean, to me, I got into film early on, and I remember my high school had, I immigrated here from the Philippines.
Oh, okay, cool.
At 15. I was born in LA, grew up in Malaysia, Philippines, and then moved to the Bay Area at 15. And I wanted to do film production. There was like a film production class, I think.
Bro, this camera's
all
too
a bunch
shaky.
Of dudes, and they all just seemed to know how to make like skate videos or whatever. And I did not. I mean, I did like the family home video camera. So was it sort of something similar? Like you just felt like they did more, knew more?
It was you're right. There was a lot more. Well, there was a lot more boys. But also, so funny, the skate videos, that takes me back. Because
you know what
yes,
I'm talking about.
I do. Basically, for me, it was like, yeah, I was just looking in the class, and basically I was explaining this to my friend who is a director in the UK. His name's Loza, and we went to school together. He now is like in my opinion, like a really big spearhead in this like music video direction in the UK, which is everyone, if you want to check his stuff out, Loza. Basically, and I was talking to him yesterday and I was saying how if I can't understand every aspect of what I'm doing, like for example with music, like I studied music theory, I've played piano my whole life. Like I know I am a classical pianist, so I know how to play it. I understand notation. I understand all of this stuff with music, and I listen to enough music. I like to think to get the full. Obviously, I'm not going to be like I know everything about music, but I understand the general scope of what I am trying to do. When it came to film, though, pretty much outside and other than film theory and editing, everything sounded so mumbo jumbo. Like I could not understand. Like he's a director, so I was like talking to him about directing, and he was saying all these things like he had to go location scouting and find a DOP, and I just have never wrapped my head around. My brain wasn't meshing to it very well. So I was like, I'm gonna figure something else out, and that was music.
Then you start, but music producing to me, I'm like, that's a whole other language.
Exactly.
Like I don't even, I do edit audio because I'm a podcast producer, but what you do with beats and loops and I don't even know, you know what I mean? Like I can't understand that.
Yeah, exactly.
So you still learned something that was also, I think, quite technical.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I was using, that's the other thing actually, funnily enough. What do you use to edit audio?
Pro Tools. But I started in GarageBand. I think you did too,
we
right?
all did.
Yes. It was on my laptop. I was like, I'm gonna do this,
that's
but I don't have money.
GarageBand's such a rite of passage, bro. Yep. Yeah, GarageBand is genuinely a rite of passage. All right. Let's I don't know why this changed. That was weird. All right. Interesting. The video like bugged out and disappeared. Here we go. I'll fire it up.
But I don't have money for whatever. Let me just do GarageBand.
I love Pro Tools. I think it's one of those things where I'll watch an engineer use it and I'll be like, this looks extremely.
Yeah, I was just checking the queue and then the video just did a backflip, but that's okay.
Cohesive as a program. I just love simplicity though, and hence what I actually still use. I moved on to
Logic
though now.
Yes. Dude, yes. Oh, yeah, because if she's using GarageBand, then she's an Apple girl. Also, honestly, Apple just works better for input latency. I ain't gonna lie. If you need to save money, Windows for sure. Because you can sort yourself out for like 600 AUD. You can set up like a half decent like audio computer, but yeah, you're probably not gonna get like live like playback while recording with that. Like you might with empty sessions, but as you start to pile up the buffer, your input latency gets drastically affected with even like third-party proprietary drivers like like Behringer stuff and all sorts of different stuff. Anyways, the point is, if you can afford it, your music computer should be an Apple, just because of the input latency and live monitoring.
Yeah. That's my roots in my short-lived, but actually ever-going.
In progress.
You'll
circle back. You're circling back now.
And this is, and that's why, and this is a good start to be in such a,
You're in proximity.
Yeah, I'm in proximity.
There you go. Do
you have a favorite movie?
Ooh. I was supposed to ask you this.
I love asking people questions.
I do, but I get a little self-conscious saying it because I feel like it's such a predictable answer, but I really love The Godfather.
Okay.
Because I watched it when I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
For some reason,
She's
my
so
dad was watching it. I was
disappointed.
watching it, and
She's
like,
so-
yes,
okay.
it's a gangster movie, but I
Dude,
really
that's
love the
worst
family
answer
drama
you can
of
get
it all.
from someone.
Yeah.
You're
It
like,
was just
okay,
so
I know you
beautiful.
hate.
Violence aside,
Yeah, of course.
and I think, at that point, my dad, he really exposed me to films. So like, I was watching everything from like Disney to like action films,
Yeah,
Jackie
wow.
Chan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, like that kind of stuff. I think Godfather was the first sort of like, oh, this is a bit different. It's drama. And it kind of opened my eyes to film in a different way.
Yeah, good
For better or
selection.
worse.
Good selection.
What is your favorite movie? You said Hitchcock or no?
Actually, funnily enough, okay, boom. I have a rotation of answers because it does change depending on my mood. Actually, funnily enough, I want to add Sinners to the list. Not even just saying that because I'm here. But I will say my favorite is Vertigo by Hitchcock. Exactly. Yeah. Just because now we're speaking about him and I'm like, wait, yeah, I have to. Or I love Fantastic Mr. Fox by Wes Anderson.
Oh, really? I love this range. This is range.
That film is so good.
Yeah.
Incredible movie.
I love that. So you said Sinners is your kind of current favorite? Or is there another?
Like new favorite, like in 10 years, if you asked me the same question, I'd say Sinners.
Okay.
I just needed to let it age for a little bit.
Yeah, I hear that. We'll have you back in 10 years.
Yeah,
Check back in.
please.
Well, I want to ask you about another proximity in proximity project. Earlier, I said I really learned about your music through Wakanda Forever.
Oh yeah.
You did a song with CK and worked with Ludwig Göransson as well, composer of the film and producer of the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how that collaboration went down? Because it was
With
so
Ludwig
cool.
or with CK?
Both.
So yeah, I got called into a studio at Abbey Road in London, and they asked, literally I went in, I wasn't even sure if I knew what it was for, but they were like, we have this song, do you want to hear it? I was like, yeah, let's go. Showed me the song, and I was like, I love.
And who's this? CK or
CK? So CK is like an Afrobeats artist, and he made Love, and I don't want to pronounce this wrong, but I'm going to Nwatiti, which is when I goes anyway, and so I love his singing voice, and I was so down to do it. And Ludwig killed me. I'm sure you've met him. I love how dry he is, just his humor. Because obviously, where is he from? Is he Swedish? Swedish, obviously, land of the musicians.
Yep.
Makes sense because he's a genius. But I literally was just like, we understood each other's humor very well. And like, I got on with him. So I genuinely thought he was hilarious, a key, if you will.
Yes. I can see that. I can see that dry wit and
Very
humor.
dry wit.
Where it's kind of like, wait, was that? That was a joke.
Yeah,
yes.
I know. It's amazing.
But can we talk a little bit about your origin story?
Of course.
Because you've sort of, you famously came up on social media, on TikTok, but you were making music before that. And when you went on TikTok, you were anonymous for a bit before blowing up and doing all the things. But can I just ask how you even developed your musical taste and style? Because it's quite unique. And it's very special.
Yeah. So I'm obviously from the UK, and I used to be an emo fan, used to be a really big K-pop fan. And when I'm a fan of something, I like to study it. So when I was a big emo fan, it wasn't just one band I was a fan of. I got into everyone like at once. And so I would be obsessed with, I'd watch all their tour footage, but I'd also watch their BTS footage or like how they made the songs. Same with every genre I got into. So basically what it ended up doing, I think I took up way too much of my brain space with all this knowledge that I didn't know what to do with. I was like, well, I know all this stuff, what do I do? Then I was like, okay, well, maybe I should put it into my music and see what happens. And I'm very open about the fact that I was never like I used to produce only, and we used to make music with my friend who could sing really well, and so I produced for her and she'd be the voice, and I was like, oh, this is fun, this is great. Then at some point I was like, I want to sing, but I'm not honestly I'm not the best singer, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to make it work and see what happens, because I love writing. So I was like, I want to just see what happens if I try and sing. I tried to sing, and then it just naturally, all of these genres kind of ended up blending together. A lot of dance, and I'm a big dance fan as well. Like, I love garage and drum and bass, and I've always loved it. And if you're from the UK, you're just kind of born and raised with it. It's not really a genre that's like out there. It's actually more of a norm over there. So I was releasing music without necessarily even thinking too much like, oh, this is really different for everybody. Like, I definitely was definitely looking online to see like oh, what do I think people are going to want to hear? You know,
You did a little audience study.
I did a little
survey.
kind of audience
market research.
I did a bit of market research. Basically, I knew that I wanted to make dance and I wanted to make like drum and bass for sure. Specifically drum and bass and jungle. I'm a big fan of those genres. And to anyone watching, those basically they're genres which are like contain. If you listen to the Powerpuff Girls theme tune, and it's those heavy breaks. And that's the main element of drum and bass, or drum and bass.
That's why that's your icon?
No, it's not actually. I don't know why that's my icon. Isn't that funny? But you have the same hair as, I don't know why, but your hair reminds me of, is that what?
Buttercup? Why, thank you. I'm the oldest, so I always consider myself a blossom.
Of three?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yes, but I'll take the buttercup. Thank you.
So cute. So market research. I just do market research and I just like, let me have a go at posting and see what people think. And people were really receptive to, the genre that I was making. I was like, well, I'm going to keep leaning into this because why not? I love it. And people like it. So yeah.
I want to play actually one of your TikToks.
Oh.
We're going to cut to TikTok right now.
Everyone's being so cute about my production, so I'm going to show you how I made my
What's
song
up?
tonight. Yeah. The first thing I start off with is figuring out the chords like this. As you can see, I put them in manually like that. Okay, that's the bass. So I'll compare what I just recorded to the final version of the track. So this piano from earlier, I just pitched it up.
This is Logic.
Ended up sounding like this. Just changed the synth, and then the bass. I ended up changing it to this instead. And then it ended up sounding like this. Okay. I'm bad at drums, so I got my co-producer Count Baldur to play drums. He's amazing. And this is how we ended up with tonight. Shout out to any producer watching this. I used Logic. I used to use GarageBand, but we upgraded. Lots of love. Yeah.
Love that. That was great.
No, yeah. Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about, first of all, music producer? Because in film and TV and even podcasting, producing means so many different things.
Of course.
What does a music producer do?
So a music producer essentially is the creator, the person that creates the beat or the background music or arranges the song for you. Basically anything that involves the arrangement and development of a track.
And can you, so you showed a little bit of your process on TikTok. Can you share, I don't know, because I've seen people want to know more about how you do this.
Oh yeah, of course.
What are things you would want to, maybe advice or just like technique or like things that you like to have when you make a song?
Yeah. When I first started, I had a lot of songs that I really wanted to sample or manipulate, speed up, slow it down. That is a form of production, it's sampling, but it's quite low in terms for what I was doing. I was being quite low lift with it. So I would take a track, I would find a track and I would basically take it and then speed it up, slow it down. And then I'd add things to an already existing bit of audio. And I would use Logic, or it's actually, I would use GarageBand for that. So I would just rip the audio and then cut it up and then add all this stuff to it. And I would add drum loops, or I would, and this was what it was at the beginning. As time went on, I started to gain a bit more confidence in what I could do. And I also started to collaborate with other people. So some songs that I have are, I've always worked with Oscar Scheller, Muramasa. These are producers from the UK. So they have a strong understanding of what my sound is. Some of my songs are songs produced by these producers, which I would then listen to and take, and then I would add my own production on top, or I would manipulate the audio again and then write over that. And then some songs are the reverse, where I'd make basically the whole beat, and then I get a producer to come in and like kind of like add things they think they hear. And then some songs are just me. So it's like a mix of the three. Muramasa made my biggest song. So he produced Boy's Liar. He produced Just For Me. Oscar Scheller did Stateside. And the Stateside remix, sorry, he made the remix. The Dare and me made the original. So it's a really long, like, I could go on for ages about it. But yeah, so it's really, the thing about me is like, I have a set few producers that I work with. I only work with about 3 in rotation. I don't really stray outside of my 3. Some people only work with 1 producer. Like some artists I know only work with 1. And then some artists work with everyone. Like just different songs have different producers.
Yeah.
And I think all methods work. I think when I work with a producer that I think is really talented, like I'm working with them because they are inherently talented people, but I also feel like I vet them. So like I will, like they come to learn who I am. So they come to know what I like, what I don't like. And therefore the process becomes easier between us. Like now I know I can go to someone like Account Bulldor and he will just know what to make me, or I'll ask him, or I'll play this and then he will know where to take it next. And so, yeah, it's an interesting process. But yeah, we work all very quickly. Like I don't spend that long.
So, but you're not making a song in a day, I presume. Not anymore.
Yeah, in a day for
really?
sure. Yeah. In a day for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. It really varies. It varies on how much I like the song, and it varies on like who I have with me that day. If I'm working by myself though, yeah, it will take a day, less than a few hours.
That's incredible. No, that's awesome. And then you can make a TikTok video at the end showing the process.
Yeah. I need to do
the
do more.
BTS. Yeah, you should.
Have you ever tried music production?
Me? Great question. You know, I feel like when I was getting into GarageBand and even more so Pro Tools, I tried, because I do compose my podcasts. So I do narrative podcasts, and it's kind of like composing because you put music underneath.
Yes,
it's very, very simple. So I would say it's like the V1 version of music producing. But I don't know how to do loops and beats and things like that, which I would love to learn, honestly.
I feel like it translates pretty well.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. I like... Because I could totally, what you were saying about wanting to manipulate media, I think that's why I fell in love with the craft too.
Yeah.
And podcasting is so early. It's more of a spoken medium. Then you put music and things underneath. Now it's all talk shows as well. But like cutting things up, creating new things out of it, making new meaning by just adding a song or a sound.
Yeah.
That I find really fun. But no, I have mad respect for what you do. I mean, can I also ask, because for me, when I started podcasting, and this is like 10 years ago. It's not even that like old of a medium. It's still so new. But I would do it in my closet, just sort of speaking into a microphone, or like interviewing someone on a dinner table and then editing at home. Working now, I have like a production team.
Yeah. I
have my crew, you have your producers, I have my own production crew. And I think making that jump from working by myself to a team, it did take time to learn how to do that. What was it like for you as someone who likes to be in control of the medium?
No, for sure. Well, my first project was, half the songs were done just by me, by myself in my room, same as you. I had the like tiny microphone, computer, just like wrote them all, produced them all, half of them. And then the other half were made by like a few producers. I'll try and name all of them. I'm scared I'm going to miss some names, but oh my goodness, hope no one's offended. So it was my school friend Phil, he was a producer, and another friend from our hometown called Kairos. They made one of the songs. Then we had a man called Zach Nahom who made one of the songs. Then we had Oscar Scheller, was the first producer I ever worked with. And then we have Jakari and Isco who made a song on there too. And these are all producers and they're great and talented. So please, if anyone hears a name they recognize or want to look into it more,
shout out.
Shout out. And also what's really fun I find nowadays is looking at Spotify credits. I love it's so fun. I'm like, who did program this actually? Anyway,
we put credits on our podcast as well,
which is important, which is great, very important. But so
making that jump from working by yourself,
and Mira Massa was on that project too, making that jump. So the first session I did was with Oscar Scheller. I remember my manager at the time was like, oh, I want to set you up to do a session. I was like, what is a session? Like, what? I did all this myself, you want me to do a session now? Like, I was not offended, but I was like, I don't want to break this cycle that I'm in of like making music my way. And I was all worried and like, I'm going to hate it. I didn't know what a session was. I just had no idea. So I was like, okay, like I'll do it.
What is a session?
So a session, typically, unless you're a producer artist or a artist that is very involved in the production end of things, you would, if you're just a vocalist or something, or like a performer artist, you would just make the songs with a producer. Like that's how it usually works. You're a really talented singer, but maybe you don't know how to make music yourself. So you are a talented vocalist who goes and meets up with a producer that's really good at playing keys or something. So that's how it typically works. I obviously
let's go.
The opposite. So I'm a producer.
How'd it go?
The first, and then vocalist last. Like
how'd it go, my G? Good, nice. You got it done. Awesome, bro. I guess now you gotta give it the old 1-2 production. Just a natural. Let's freaking go, bro. Let's freaking go. You can do covers? Oh, nice. Alrighty. What is up next on the agenda? The agenda. You gotta start making. Yeah, true. Get him onto Fab Filter, and that's the best compressor. I mean EQ to. Holy crap! I just realized only 16 more subs until we're at our 90 sub goal. We're up like 30, 40 subs from last month. Yo, let's fucking go, team. Let's fucking go. Oh, gang, my back's sore. My back's sore, gang. I'm looking for another video. I kind of got over that video. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool and all, but it's a long ass video. We watched half an hour of it, you know what I mean? Like, look, maybe I've just got a terrible attention. Maybe I just got a terrible. All right, I think that's it for today, guys. We're gonna call it just a little bit early today. I'm getting back tomorrow. I'll be with you then. I'm really glad that your son's excelling at music, man. That's fucking awesome to hear, dude. Yeah. Short stream today. I'll be back tomorrow. This is the MountainsHide stream every goddamn day. Because I love it here. Thank you for being here. I'm very happy about the sub goal. We've got more followers than ever. No L's to take on the followers. We continue to have successful turnouts for our monthly MountainsHide rank. I'm releasing music soon. I'm very happy with my new direction. It's completely different from anything I've ever done. Thank you for being here. We will be back tomorrow. Stick around for the raid. I love y'all. Join the raid. Next up, he's reviewing music. You all know him. You all love him. It's Next Up FM. And if you don't, definitely jump into the raid because trust. You'll, he gives great feedback and he's also glowing artists up in his, like, competitions. W streamer. Thank you for being here once more, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.